Okay, hi everyone. I think our network is kind of shaky. Oh wow, our network. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome. This is another episode of Dear Parents, episode 3, and we're happy to see you here finally. And I'm the co-host, but currently our host is having a bit of network issue. Hopefully, she'll be back soon. I'm the co-host, and here is the Mrs. Sheung Olo. Sorry, I can't really see the screen. Obishe's son is our team parent, and team youth is Olabisi. Welcome, everyone. Mrs. Sheung Obishe's son. Good afternoon, ma. Do you have anything to say before we commence the show?
I'm happy to be here and I'm open to learn. So let's keep the God going.
Okay, thank you so much, ma. Team youth, any any comments? Or having
Um,
a
um,
bit of
um,
network
I am
issue.
excited to be here, and I would, I would love to hear from the parent side so that I can defend you.
Welcome. Welcome. I think our host is back. I think our host is back and she'll be taking over now. Mrs. Adekunbi Babalola, known as Olori Kodu. She's gone. Wow, the network is really bad. Okay, I think we'll go straight into the topic of the day. Network is just bad. Today network is just bad. Can anyone hear me?
Yes?
Yes, I
Can't
can
hear
hear you.
everyone. Okay. Okay, so we'll just go straight into the topic of the day, which is anyone ready?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so there was a letter that was sent to their parents, the host of their parents, which goes like this. Why do parents tell scary and sugar-coated stories to make kids stop a particular thing instead of educating your child properly? This was a heartfelt letter from the youth, a question to the parents on how, this kind of situation should be dealt with. They need an answer to this kind of question. So we'll go right to team parents on why parents usually act, on this kind of topic.
Okay. Now, the question says, why do parents tell scary or sugar-coated stories to make kids stop doing a particular thing? Okay, what I will say is, in regards to the question on its own, when you sugarcoat something, means that thing is in existence, but you just kind of make it sound sweeter. Isn't that what sugarcoat means? Like if somebody say to you, "Oh, um, there was a time in Nigeria where when you go on a bike, a lot of people will be telling you, don't go on bike because all those bike people they don't know how to ride properly. They might, you might have a minor accident." And they might exaggerate it in a way because parents, I know we can exaggerate things. But the truth is in the sentence. It's just don't do it. Oh, if you do it, this is what will happen to you. You know, that is on top of it. So there's a truth statement there. But the sugarcoat is what the youth doesn't like, if I'm correct. If somebody like plantain,
Definitely.
some people when they eat rice, they cannot eat their rice alone except they have plantain with it. And when you have a delicious meal, you feel like, oh, I'm so satisfied. So if somebody now comes and say, if you eat that food, oh my God, you can grow taller, you can do this. But was the food delicious? It was, right? But the person now started adding extra flavor to it. So the fact that there's a bit of truth in a statement makes it truthful, if that make any sense. So is the warning, the awareness that if you do this, this is the consequence, is what the youth call sugarcoating. It's not that
Hmm.
um they are not aware that something could happen. So the statement is coming from a youth, which is understandable. And them stopping a particular thing, that means the child was doing something that, most of the time we are not aware of the consequence of our action. And somebody that have been through that experience before might say to you, oh, if you don't wear, like, look at me now, because it's cold, that's why I'm wearing this. If you don't wear proper clothing, if you don't wear proper jacket in winter, you will get cold, you could get pneumonia. A child might say, no, it's not that cold, I'm okay, I'm all right. But eventually, when you wear inappropriate clothing in winter, you will get cold, your bones will be aching. But it is that consequence of that action that most people, well, youth in particular, don't see, that the parents know, and they will say, no, don't do this because of this. And then they call it sugarcoating. I hope you're on my side, or I'm still sugarcoating it. So it is just a way of, oh, don't do that, a way of correction. Yoruba will say, igi gogoro ma gún mi lójú, àtòkèrè láti máa yẹ̀fun. In a nutshell, it just means prevention is better than cure.
Hmm.
So can I stop right there and I'll let you take over?
So
So we go to the host. Okay, I think can she hear us? So she's having a bit of connection. Kumbi, can you hear us? Okay, so she's done giving us her perspective, her view on the topic. So I would like to give an example to team youth and give the team youth also like an opportunity to kind of respond to what team parents said. So I would like to paint a scenario and ask team youth a question. Have you ever been told by your mom that if you were on your period, you should not sit on a boy's lap because you might get pregnant? What do you say to that kind of scenario? Because it's kind of a sugar coated story. So how do you approach that kind of what is your question to parents in terms of that kind of example?
So honestly, my parents have never sugarcoated all this stuff. They gave me like so direct, not like explicit and not raw. Or they do tell me to educate me about this stuff. So I actually do know about it. So honestly, parents need to educate their children about this stuff. Because regardless of whether they do it or not, they will still find out. They are going to school to mix up with children from different backgrounds. They'll eventually find out. So I don't understand the whole point of not telling, or like telling giving them like a lie, and they still go out and they find out. And the child obviously knows eventually that, okay, my parents, it's mostly the moms, because the moms are the ones that handle this type of stuff. My mom has lied to me. So it's sometimes the child might not even be able to tell you certain things like this anymore, because they believe that if I tell my mom, she'll eventually lie again, because that's what she was doing. That was she did previously. Honestly, I feel like parents, and I think it's not our parents' fault, but it has been like a generational thing that has been going on. Their parents also told them that same thing. That's why they are also telling us. And we understand that this is, it's not the truth. When we have our own children, we educate them better. We don't have to tell them like divorce stuff, but we could let them know that, okay, if you're on your period, you shouldn't sit on a man's or a guy's lap. Not because you're going to get pregnant, but because it's not good. It could lead to different things. Not saying if you sit down on his lap. but let them know that the consequences of their action, not trying to like put fear in them and telling them, no, you must not do. And most of the time, when parents say you must not do this, children tend to do it just to find out why they do it. So we need to, explain to them better so they don't go and practicalize it outside. Because once they practicalize, they won't let you know about it. So it's, just educate them better so that they understand it. And it's, I mean, our parents didn't know any better, but our parents taught it to them. And that's it. So we, Generation Z, we understand. So we will be able to enlighten our children and, let them know all this stuff. So
Thank you very much, Olabisi. Thank you very much. Um, Mrs. Obishesto, I heard all what you said, and at some point, it seemed like you were actually still sugarcoating your answer. I, Parents can just be playing. We understand. I think the major thing is they don't feel that that particular child or their children have the capacity to understand what they are trying to say. That's why they are trying to sugarcoat it. But say it. So I have a question from somebody, and she said it's a bit touchy. So she's like, how I wish my mom is still alive. She was always telling me to avoid men and that once they touch me, I will get pregnant. I listened and obeyed and kept myself till marriage. Now, my marriage is almost a year and I've not been able to conceive. Ma, did you get my question, ma?
Can you say that again, please?
Okay, so she says, how I wish my mom is still alive. She was
Okay.
always telling me to avoid men and that once they touch me, I will get pregnant. I listened and obeyed her and kept myself till marriage. Now my marriage is almost a year and I've not been able to conceive.
Okay. That's a devastating one. But having said that, there could be different causes that cause her not to have a child yet. Although, like somebody was saying, you know, when parenthood is not easy, and if you have more than one child, you know that you are different. You are dealing with two or three or five different individuals. In my case, five different individuals. They are not the same. Some children, you tell them don't do this easily, they will not do it. Some you have to kind of look for a way that will make that they are tough students. If you have a tough student, you treat them differently. But the mom said, don't do this, don't do that, so that she believed that she will go into a marriage with her pride. Maybe that's the belief of the mom, and I believe she might like that as well. So that a female child in particular, will not have messed up, you know, in some ways before she get married. Based on the parents understanding that marriage is we believe that marriage is a one very important thing, but it's not the same anymore. Things are changing. She got married, she's having issue. That's not because she haven't experienced sexual relationship before. There could be other things. There could be stress. Maybe she's so stressed about the whole situation, and then her body is not complying to, making the baby. There could be other issues. But education then, when they were raising us, was scarce. It's not that very common as it is now. If you understand what I'm saying. So it's not really the fault of the mother. We have to look into different areas of what is causing her not to be able to have a child, not just the mom. She's an adult now. It is high time she stops saying, my mom did this, my mom did this. You will not be able to move forward when you keep looking back. I hope that makes sense. And hopefully, if it's someone that you can get back to say, look into other areas, please say it to her. and then she will stop being beat up, and the stress level will go down. So hopefully she'll be able to conceive.
Thank you, Ma. Olabisi, what do you think about the question? Do you think her mom is at fault? Do you think if her mom was open, should have, because it might be some sort of infection and anything. Do you think if her mom was a bit open, should have been able to real? I'm not saying her mom would have been open for her to start having sex at a young age, but I think if her mom just, if she was plain and she was truthful to her, should have been able to tell her when some things change in her body. Because the truth is, when they say these type of things to you, when you feel some type of way, you can't go back to them because you just feel, oh, they'll think, oh, I've started doing what they asked me not to do. So Olabisi, what do you think?
So honestly, I feel like the intention of wasn't bad, but maybe the approach she took wasn't so great. She was meant to educate her child, not lie to her.
Yeah.
I feel like that's where she did have fault in taking her about go things. So I feel like the education part is what's lacking.
Okay, okay. Zainab,
Yes.
so let me hear from you what you have to say.
My network went for a while. My network went out for a while, so just came back.
What say that
What
again,
was it?
Zainab?
My network,
Oh,
can you hear
okay,
me? My
so
network
we're
went
talking about
out for a
somebody that
while.
her mom told her to stay away from men. They taught you get pregnant, and now she's married. She has not been able to conceive.
Mm.
So she sent this message, and it's from a place of, oh, she's blaming her mom that, oh, now I'm married, oh, no baby, oh, and all that. Cause so Mrs. Obisheso has explained that it was not from a place of scaring her, it was from a place of protection. We get it. But do you feel that because her mom was not really playing to her, even when she started feeling some sort of things in her body, because it might be anything, it might just be
Yeah.
stress, like Mr. Obisheso said, and it might be
Mhm.
infection, it might be something. Do you think because she could not just talk to her mom, she let some things stay in her body and
Mhm.
now it's causing the delay? Are you there, Zainab?
Okay. Firstly, I would say that it's not. Yeah, I'm here. Can everyone hear me? I would
Yeah.
say that it's not the parents' fault that she had issues. I would say it's not the parents' fault that she had issues, but I feel like if the parents were more open with her, if her mother was more open with her and they communicated freely, like obviously you're supposed to trust your mother, you're supposed to be free with her, you're supposed to tell her everything. So if she was free in that setting, she would have probably told her, not even probably, because if you are free with your mother, you would have told her like if you're having any issue, something you wouldn't even have told any other person except from her because you trust her and her judgment. But the fact
Mhm.
that the mother already, like, I wouldn't say pushed her away, but because already told us lies and like fed her with lies in the hope of protecting her, because to her, this is my daughter, I'm protecting her from certain things, but she's not saying it that way. That was why she was not able to, be open to her. If she can't tell you something, that means in her mind, she's like, oh, my mom has already kind of pushed me away. I can't be free and be honest with her. So, she let some things stay with her. She never trusted her mother again to tell her certain things. That's why communication from mother to child, or just parent to child, father and mother
Mhm.
and children is very, very important. There should be
Yeah.
free communication. So if there's anything wrong with your child will be able to speak up without shame,
Yeah.
without feeling a type of way. Just that I'm speaking to my mother. My mother is here to listen to me and hear me. You know. Yeah, that's my view of that.
Mm.
Thank you. Olabisi, this question is for you. Why do you think parents withhold the truth from children? Why? Why do you think they like to sugarcoat it?
Okay, yeah, that's my view on that. Can everyone hear me?
Yes.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes. So honestly, I feel like the intention of parents is not bad. It's for a good cause because obviously they don't want their child to fall victim of,
Mm-hmm.
victim or something bad. So that's why they sugarcoat it. But it doesn't help because like you'll be surprised what a 5-year-old even knows. So why not just start like educating them, let them know all this stuff? Because they eventually still find out. They go out to meet up with children and they hear things and they find out things. So yeah, that's
So, Mrs. Obisha, so why do you think, or why do you parents sugarcoat what you tell us?
Okay, why do we sugarcoat? I will not accept that sugarcoating part. Anyway, I don't believe we sugarcoat. But can I just say something? Back in the days, marriage was viewed as a compulsory thing, especially for a female child. When you're of a certain age, we believe you should be married at this age. We believe you should do this. But now people are beginning to understand it's better to be single and be happy than to be married and be miserable. So a lot of mothers are not even ready for marriage, not to talk of parenthood. So they don't even have all this information that now the youth are saying they are sugarcoating. It's a lot to deal with. I remember when I was in, was it primary school or so, I was bullied. But I didn't know it was bullying until I got there and I have the information. Then you will hear parents say, an engineer, when somebody beat you, beat your own back. If you're family, hey, beat your own back. Why can't you beat your own back? God did not structure everybody to be a physical fighter. We could be spiritual fighters. Some people, no matter how you go at them, they will never come at you. So this information are not here. And every parent raise their children the best way they know how. The best way they know how. And when they become, when it gets to a stage when they become teenagers, imagine if you have two teenagers, three teenagers in your household, on you coming at you like that, the hormones, imbalance hormones and all. It can be a bit difficult. So sometimes when parents go out and about looking for how to take care of their families, it's the time of explaining or lack of information that makes some parents sugarcoat. But it is changing now. We are learning now. This is where we learn. You're feeding us, we're feeding you, you're asking us why we do some things. Somebody's sending a question, my mom did this. But just believe that we want the best for our children. Every parent does. But there are times you'll be going through something that you will not even be able to explain your stress. And here comes a child that's so anxious that want to know a lot of things. You don't even have the energy to be explaining. So I would accept that sugarcoating part, but I wouldn't say you can say to don't do that. Oh, you will see what will happen to you. Maybe that emphasizing the consequence is the English I will use. I will not accept the sugarcoating. If that make
Okay,
any
ma.
sense.
So, my as parents, what do
Okay.
you do in a situation where a particular child would always do what you say not to do? So, I think to some extent, there are children that when you say don't do this, the only thing in their head is why should I not do that?
Yeah.
And there are some that will just say, okay, my mom said I should not do it. So how do you relate? How do parents relate to those kind of children? Because oftentimes they start to tag them stubborn, they start to beat them, and is from one cane to another, from one auntie beating and all.
Yeah.
But it will not change that child's mind. The child will
Yeah.
still do what they want to do, and it now
Hmm.
often turns to being rebellious. How do you
Yeah.
curb it that it does not get to that stage?
Okay. That's a very lovely question. And I think I did a video in regards to that. But the thing is, children are not the same. Even if you are the mom, like in my house, they are not the same. You're looking at five different individuals. Sometimes some people will even wonder, are you the mother of this one? But you are the mother of this one that is so quiet. What happened? Children are different. And at that age that they are growing up, let's say we're talking about a toddler now, full of energy, the strength is there, the fuel is there. If a car have a full tank, it can travel as far as it wants until the tank is empty, right? So that's how a child is. Now, what I say to some people is, if a child is so, the energy is just there, you cannot be praying, this child calm down or something. Look for activities for them, preoccupy them with things. They can be, all these, I don't know what you call it, all these climbing on the wall, all these event centers and stuff like that, playing area, or you go to the park, or you look for, there will be area that the child will be so good in. Some like to write. Involve them in things to kind of burn that energy. Going for a long walk. But I cannot say, oh, let every child go for a long walk. No, I will be wrong. But if your child is like this, let that child do this. That is why you don't generalize. You raise a child based on that child's ability. So some children, it's not like they don't want to listen, or they just, when the brain is growing, it takes a lot of effort to teach and for the brain to absorb the correction. Unlike when you want to do something bad. If you want to destroy something, is very easy. If you want to fix it, it takes effort. So focus on that child in particular. Look for other areas to burn that energy, that too much energy that is there. And then I believe things will change. So
Thank
that's
you,
my
Ma.
point on there.
Yes, Ma. Thank you, Ma. So Olabisi, anything you want to is there anything you want to say to Mrs. Obisha? So she's representing parents as she's representing the youth. Is there anything you want to tell her so that she can help us tell parents at large? Is there something you want to let her know?
Mm.
Sorry, I didn't get your question.
Oh, I think the network is messing up now.
Olabisi, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Um, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. The network has
Yes, I can hear
been.
you.
Yes, so I asked that. Is there a message you want to relate to Mrs. Obisha so she can help us pass it across to parents because she's still parents, so we cannot advise our parents. It's not possible. They're parents. So is there something you want to tell us so she can help us tell them?
So I'd like to say that can our parents stop lying to us regarding this whole issue? Can they, when it comes to topics, can they stop being so harsh, so strict and saying no, no, putting so much restriction and being like, you can't do this, you can't do that. Can they actually like be calm with us and like explain to us in a very, calm and in a very relaxing way that we would understand? Stop putting so much fear and saying that if you do this, if you touch a guy, you're going to get pregnant. Well, we know that obviously they should, basically they should make us want to tell them this thing without, without fear. Because obviously, when we talk to our parents, they help us. Like we won't learn this in school. Our parents are obviously going to be the first contact. to, explain to us. Yeah, so our parents be more, welcoming and be more. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. So, Mrs. Shea Obisha, so please, what do you have to say to the youth? What do you have to say to the children?
Okay. I'm in the middle. I'm stuck in the middle because I'm a parent and I'm all for the youth. But having said that, um, you cannot talk about the youth without talking about the parents. And for any, well, parent, whether biological children or destiny children or any other children, you cannot talk about them and not talk about the children. Platforms like this is what we need to pass information. A lot of things that parents say, or maybe they are watching a movie and they want to start kissing. They now say, close your eyes. I say, hello. They've seen more than close all those kissing things. So, that is why information is so important. I remember as far as I don't even remember how young I would say if I tickle you, are you tickled to my girls? I would say if I tickle you, are you tickled? I say they will say yes. If I tickle you, are you tickled? They say yes. I say those are the areas that nobody should touch you. As young as they can understand what I'm saying, those are the areas somebody cannot touch you. There is a way a boy can stand close to you that it will be appropriate, and there is a way, just say, can you give me space? You know the way. So parenting is changing now, but we are passing on message to the parent as well to say, just tell this child what is going to happen. Don't say, because if you tell a teenager or a youth to say, oh, don't do this, it is that thing they want to do. That thing gone that you say don't do is what, because you didn't tell them what could happen if they do this. You don't take your vegetables, you don't take your fruits. This is what could happen to you. Not just, oh yeah, eat apple, oh yeah, eat banana, oh yeah. No, that first thing is old. But we are changing, we are listening. We are listening, and God will help us. Mm.
Thank you very much, Ma. Thank you, Zainab. So I don't know. I think Zainab is actually okay. So today we've learned that we don't have to, as parents, you don't have to. We told some of the truth from us. So I'm trying not to use sugarcoat again because Mr. Lucian is not having that word.
I'm not having
So
it.
as parents, we've learned today that you can talk to us. And what
Mhm.
I've noticed is in all the topics that we've treated, the core thing between children and parents is lack of communication.
Yeah.
Is a lack of communication. So, parents, you can talk to us. And as Mrs. Obisheso said, force, leave force alone. It's archaic. We understand these things now. So you don't have to
Mhm.
tell me if I sit on a man's lap, I'm going to get pregnant. I know I will not because somebody in school is telling me that I will not.
Yeah.
So, parents, please let's try. Let's try to be as open as we can be. We know all this is a form of protection and we get it. But the world has evolved. So let our parenting style please evolve with the world. We can't be using what they used in 1990 in 2020. This
Yeah.
is two different things. Everybody has a smartphone. So if you tell me this, I will Google it and check.
Yes.
So please parents, let's evolve with the world. And for the youth, we know all these things. But let's have it at the back of our mind that your mom, your dad will not deliberately lie to you. Your parents, your guardians will not deliberately lie to you. They might not have the best words to put it, but that should not take our trust away from them. We should always try.
Mm.
You should just keep trying. If they don't have the right words today, they might have the right words tomorrow. So let's not start confiding in friends and ignoring our parents and our guidance. Zainab, do you have anything to say before I close?
Well, I don't know if there is a question for in parents. So you made a statement in terms of like parents need to get educated about certain things, especially like communication with their children. So I would like to ask a question. Are you basically saying that parents definitely need to get educated in terms of parenting? Like parenting education. There are certain parents that don't understand this kind of thing. There are some that definitely do, and they will try and make us understand certain things, but there are some that just don't want to get it. Some that they are ready to listen. There are some that don't even if you educate them, they just don't want to listen. They feel like they are right, they know everything. We know that our parents are right, they want the best for us, but sometimes, like the host said, this is 2022. You cannot use 1990 something method to come and be teaching. Kids of these days, we are different. And we definitely love our parents. We love you. And that's why I feel like you just need to listen to us more. Let us communicate so we can be free to open our minds to you.
Yes, I will say that again. As parents, we need to, it's like if you want to employ somebody into a company, you want to give them a job, you will train them. But parenthood is one of the things that nobody trains you. You have the baby, you just have to figure out he's crying. Oh, okay, maybe he's hungry. Oh, maybe the nappy is dirty. We figure all these things out. So I believe we should get credit for that. To be able to go through motherhood and be sane in this era, we need credit for it, especially some of us that we not only have one, two, we have, God bless us with lots of children. Having said that, this is a message for the parents. One of the things that I noticed is we don't like, anyway, not like, we don't want our children to fail. So we are so overprotective. And failure is part of success. There is nobody that will say, I am a very successful person. If they mention how many times they failed, you'll be like, so what kept you going? That thing that kept them going is what we should be doing. Fueling that energy to keep pushing. You fall down. Oh, yeah, get up again. Keep going. Keep going. People will fail to succeed. And also, when platforms like this are saying, oh, the children want to talk to us, parents should flow in, let us listen. Enough of, I'm your mother. You don't tell me what to do. Me, anytime I do something, I will have my children. What do you think? Maybe I should have said something. Oh, maybe I shouldn't have said it this way. Who is going to listen to your messages when you're saying, I'm your mother? Don't tell me what to do. Nobody will listen because you are the mother, and nobody will tell you what to do. But the people you are trying to pass on the message to are the ones that will be telling you what to do, but with respect. Obviously, oh mom, maybe you shouldn't have done it this way. Oh mom, maybe you should allow me finish what I'm saying. Wait, let me finish what I'm saying with respect. And if you're adamant, mom, you don't always listen to me, not coming to fight her. She will not listen. She will not say, oh, this child is trying to correct me with anger. They will say, I'm your parent, don't tell me what to do. So that area, God will help us. There are a lot of platforms that we can learn from. I've learned one thing or the other today, and I'm here in the comfort of my own home. So if parents see topics like this and rushing, we'll be able to understand, oh, these children, maybe they need a bit of space. But somebody do something wrong. Don't say, look at what you have done now. You can just say, oh, I hope you've learned your lesson. And just walk away from the situation. And that is gold. But if you stand there saying, look at this thing that you have done, this thing, it's not going to help. So let that child flow the way they want to flow. Lay all the, pros and cons to say, if you do this, this is what will happen. And if they do it, don't say, I've told you so, you are no longer my child. No. Okay, maybe next time you do it this way. And that gap, that lack of trust, that, oh, they are sugarcoating it, oh, there they come again, it will reduce, but it will take a while.
Thank you very much, Mark. Thank you. Thank you very much, Mark. So, yes, we would like to be here all day, but it's time to end this. And I would just say this quickly. Youth, children, teenagers, let's cut our parents some slack. We did not come with manual. A wise man will always say, when children came, they came, they didn't come with teaching manual. They didn't come like television or electronics. So this is how to do it, and this is not how to do it. So we came without manuals, and we should cut them some slack and always try again. Let's not just give up on them like we always do. Like, oh, I said this thing, and my mom reacted this way, so I'm never telling her anything again. I'm not trusting my mom again. And for parents, communicate, talk to us. So please, that's what we're craving for. Please talk to us. Please answer us when we talk. Even when you're not in the mood, you can tell us to go. But please call us back and discuss. Let's discuss. Let's discuss. Let's have the relationship that we really want to have with our parents. Thank you very much. My name is Adekunbi, and I'm your host today. We had Olabisi and Mrs. Obisi and my amazing co-host Zainab.